Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Never End Podcast, the podcast open to everyone, especially Gabe Kidd and Alex, the Android, and the House of Torture. My name is Luke. I'm your host of the Never End Podcast, and with me, as always, is Mr. Andy. Say hello, Mr. Andy.
Hello, Mr. Andy. Hello, Luke, and hello to the listeners, and hello to everyone who isn't taking World Tag League seriously, because that's us. You're going to have a relaxed discussion of many subjects, including World Tag League Part 3 on this episode.
Oh, we still have to talk. Oh, we still have to do the tag worlds. All right, cool.
It's still going on, Luke.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And we just found out before we started recording that there's going to be an extra day of it because it's first and seconds of each block wrestling each other for an extra night of fun. Oh, God. Yeah, thank you. Awesome. Anyway, there are ways people can interact and contact us if they wish to and watch us. Yay. We are on the Tweety X, whatever the fuck it is. We swear, by the way. I am at Grumpy2EB. Mr. Guy is at Drucifer Tweets. And collectively, we are at a Never Open Pod. If you want to send us a written or voice email, you can do that. neveropenpod@gmail.com. If you want to watch us rather than listen to us, oh, you can do that too. Yeah, look us up. We are at the Never Open Podcast. There you go. Nice and easy. And if you got any of that Slosh Banks money, yes. Kicking that way, we have a Teespring store. We have merch that'll make you look never as
What better way to, get a great gift for someone you know who probably doesn't listen to us? Just think about it. Get a shirt that says "never as fuck" across it. That prints. It's a full shirt print, like goes over the whole shirt. Get that.
Why not? Straight. And if they like having like replica titles and things like that, just buy them the Never Open logo shirt. It's the Never Open title with the name on it. There you go.
I mean,
it's cheaper than a replica belt.
Contact me and buy stickers that have the Never Open Podcast logo on it. That is at least a trademark distinction from the actual Never title. And you can put those all over an actual replica title, and it'll look just like the Never Open title, but not the real one.
Those stickers, right? You can make anything look never as fuck. Your dog, put a sticker on it. Your car, put a sticker on it. Your fucking mug that you don't like that much, put a fucking Never sticker on it. Boom, it's new favorite mug.
Yeah. I mean, the paper towel dispenser in your local indie wrestling venue. Stick it there.
Yeah. Put one over the local glory hole.
We don't want to.
All right, maybe not. Yeah, that's right. Why are we ruining somebody else's potentially? Right. Talk about cock blocking. Hey.
I know the glory hole stuff. The Never Open Podcast. That's what the never means.
Holy shit. Oh my goodness. So there are little tidbits and things to talk about. One I wanted to talk about is something that I guess we've both decided to watch the show, and I don't know how much of it we'll cover, but Kota Ibushi is wrestling Naomichi Marufuji. Is it the New Year's Day Noah show?
Yeah, they have a show on the 2nd of January. At least that's when it's on in America. But it will be their big New Year's show, which we covered last year, and I'm sure we'll cover again this year. That's pretty exciting. That'll be a tremendous match, and I'm interested to see what Kota Ibushi, modern Kota Ibushi, like current Kota Ibushi, looks like in Japan without the New Japan shackles on him. That should be interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of a must-watch match though too, isn't it? Yeah. We got to do it. In other news, I've been watching this Continental Classic tournament, and I'm enjoying it. It's fine, but I'm loving it just for all the Jay White matches I'm getting. And I saw him wrestle Roosh, which is really good. And I watched him wrestle Swerve, which was just like heaven to me. It was amazing. So, yay. Jay White doing things is something I don't think I'll stop covering unless he goes to WWE, because that's where my interest in wrestlers goes to vanish. Sorry. That's just
yeah. Well, Luke, that is a perfect segue to like the big news is that Sports Illustrated has announced that they're reporting that Okada's his contract is up at the end of the year, just like what happens every year with lots of wrestlers in New Japan. And I think it's pretty much confirmed Okada to WWE. It's definitely happening. You heard it here first. It's 100% gonna happen. So watch for it. There at the beginning of the year, Okada is going to show up in the Royal Rumble, and he's going to get eliminated immediately by Jonah.
Oh man, I don't see him leaving Japan. Do you? Seriously?
I can't imagine that happening. He's like, he gets paid a lot of money in Japan, and I know that New Japan overall doesn't make nearly as much money or even close to a drop in the bucket to what WWE makes. And so WWE, of course, can afford to pay him a lot more. But just for fun, I looked up Shinsuke Nakamura's current salary, and it's $400,000 a year, which is fantastic. That's a shit ton of money for wrestling. And he doesn't even wrestle that much, so that's fantastic. But Okada's like making over $2 million a year in Japan. So are they going to pay him Goldberg money? I don't know about that.
No, I don't think so either. And why would you leave Japan? I mean, I can see why. Maybe you want the challenge of it or something like that. Wouldn't necessarily be for the money. He's even one of the 3 most over guys in Japan, you would say? Naito being one of the other guys?
Yeah, so I mean, him and Naito, those are the 2 top guys, and Tanahashi is right there with them. But, I don't know. We'll talk about Naito just showing up to watch his friends wrestle. What kind of effect that has on the entire situation that's going on during these shows. So.
It's like the crowd's here. We're like, yeah, we're having fun at World Tag League. Then Naito comes out. Oh my God, it's like the Beatles have arrived.
It's amazing. So, yeah, the people, like mostly the fans are pretty like polite. And it's like, they're not mad at each other over this, but they're stepping on each other to try to get to Naito. And it's fantastic. I love
it. There's also just for you dear listeners, if you find yourself up early or my time watching these World Tag League shows, I've been sneakily on the Tweety at least once or twice, just throwing a few things out there, trying not to be too much of a downer that I'm watching World Tag League, but it happens. Interact with me if you see me. Say hello. Keep me company as my eyes try not to glaze over, and I consume way too much alcohol.
Luke, I have another news note that you don't know about, and you guys know of all the English language podcasters, I would say that we have the finger on the pulse of just tap out wrestling in Japan. And so I got big news. We're working on some big super tall dude news, but that's on the back burner for now.
Oh my God.
Just a little tease for you, but this is different news. This is JTO business news. All right. So very important, similar to other, business news that we usually report. So Taka Michinoku has lost the password to the main JTO page on Facebook. So he's just going to be posting on his personal page from now on.
He can redo the password. If he's no good at technology, I'm sure fucking Taichi will hook him up. He seems to be pretty savvy with all this tech business.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh my God.
Big news out of JTO, as usual. Wow. As usual, big news. So, well, Luke, I guess we should talk about our viewing experience with World Tag League this week.
Yeah.
Because we watched 1 million World Tag League shows. There was like 1 million of them. How do you
Yes.
feel about these tag league shows?
Here's how I felt about them. Charity's like, hey, do you want to watch? You want to play some Knights of the Old Republic 2 tonight? Yeah, I do. But don't you have New Japan on tonight? I'll watch it tomorrow. And that was half the shows. And the other night was like, we nearly finished this series of Doctor Who, Charity. We've got like one episode left. Doesn't World Tag League start in an hour? Yeah, I'll catch up in the morning. So, yeah, that's been my viewing experience. One block is a fucking bajillion times more exciting to me than the other block. Why? Because it has, I can't believe I'm going to say this, Yujiro and Evil. I don't know. Yujiro hasn't been. He's been fine. Like he's doing all right. Why is he motivated during World Tag League and trying to be entertaining and shit? What the? He's like Bizarro. He's
as long as it's not singles matches, it's not too bad. So.
Yeah, right. So I've liked the House of Torture-ish kind of shenanigans because it livened things up, and I need to be livened up. But they're in the same block as my highlight of this whole tournament, and that's Gabriel Kidd and Alex.
The android.
The android, that's right. And they've had my favorite match together this whole tournament too. So
that shit was fun, right? I mean, all the Bullet Club versus Bullet Club stuff was fun, and just a quick recap of a couple Bullet Club shenanigans that have gone on in this tournament is that the Authors of War, they joined Bullet Club briefly, right? So they're like, hey, we want to be in House of Torture, and they beat the shit out of somebody, Taguchi or somebody, I can't remember who it was, but they beat the shit out of him and joined the House of Torture, and then the House of Torture just turned on him and beat the shit out of him. It's just what happens, right? I mean, what was that all about, Luke?
See, that they joined wrong. That's not how you join House of Torture. To join House of Torture, you have to do mega betrayals, I guess. And nobody likes Yujiro anyway, so he just fits right in.
Well, you got to be invited too. You know what I mean?
Oh, of course.
You don't just show up to the House of Torture and knock on the door. They let you in. Who the fuck are you? Did you call first?
You're going to turn on just 5 guys?
Ooh,
that's a betrayal. Welcome to the house.
Yeah.
But no. House of Torture saw right through that.
Yeah, that's true. Yujiro didn't really turn on anybody. I mean, I guess he turned on Naito a long time ago, but Sho turned on Yo, and Evil turned on LIJ. You're right. It's a bunch of turncoats. And Dick Togo, he turned on himself, man.
Yeah, he's just a spoiler, isn't he? I've seen him punch a lot of people in the dick when they're being held upside down this tournament. I will say that. Even the Never Open champion one night, and I was like, "Come on, man, that's my champ. What are you doing? Punching Shingo in the nuts." Oh my goodness!
I like how you get this giant karate chop off the top rope right to the fucking dick, and like a minute later, you're like, I'm all right.
Except for I would say there's maybe one wrestler who would keep selling it the whole match, and he's the Holy Emperor Taichi, because I remember him getting low blowed in one match, and he's walking to the back with Miyo Abe, and Miyo Abe starts breaking it and starts laughing her ass off, because as they're walking backwards and moving to the back, every few feet, Taichi would be like, oh my nuts, my dick still hurts, back a couple steps, and Miyo Abe is just fucking crying with laughter. So, yeah, by the way, I think the quickest rebound from a top rope dick chop will probably be Tongaloa, who would just roll backwards out of it and stand up and lariat all of House of Torture or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Why do they do injury storylines with him all the time? Hey, he's not in World Tag League. That's something.
Well, I mean, he's too injured. He's got all those injuries that you can tell they hurt because he does the ouch, on his face. So, Luke, what about the TMDK boys? What do you think of their performance so far in the tournament? They're on 10 points in A block, and it seems to me that they've kind of they've been very workmanlike. That's kind of their deal, right? Is they're kind of workmanlike. They go in there, they do the match, and they do a good job. It's not anything that's going to blow your mind, but I don't know that there's anything in this tournament that's going to blow your mind. But those guys have been pretty good this tournament.
I've enjoyed them a lot. I have to admit, like, I like Mikey Nichols. I do. And I like the reunion match between Mikey and Hinare that we had on one of the nights, which is pretty good because if you remember their G1 match, they both headbutted each other and busted open and decided just to have a Never style G1 match and just fucking kill each other, which was like, oh, holy shit. So I like Mikey Nichols. He's a tough dude. But I think I really, really like Shane Haste. He's got like something a little extra. He's got the personality, of course. It's over the top. But I don't know. I like his moveset. He's got a little bit of extra stank on some of his kicks and stuff too, which I like. He seems pretty versatile.
Yeah, they've been pretty great. I've enjoyed everything that they've done so far. What about Great-O-Khan and Hinare? You mentioned Hinare. Those two haven't won as many matches as you'd think, and they're out of the tournament at this point. But
yeah,
I don't know. It hasn't been, I don't know. I hate to see those guys lose, but it's World Tag League. Doesn't matter,
No, it doesn't. I don't have that up on my screen, the scores, so I'm a professional. Mm-hmm. But
you should always tell us about it, while you're doing it. That's the best way to let, to keep that a secret.
I've really enjoyed their matches because, by the way, Great-O-Khan and Hinare versus the Agony Gates dudes. All right. Settle down, guys. Holy shit.
Well, Hinare and one of the guys from, I guess it's Toa Leona, they are doing the haka, like warring hakas, that was fucking cool, man. I really enjoyed that. It's like they saw each other from a mile away and they're like, we're going to find out.
That's right. And then those four guys just proceeded to pound on each other for the rest of the match. So, yeah. Hell yeah. And I feel like Empire actually won that match. Part of it is they're not really doing anything with Great-O-Khan. And I want them to do more with both these guys, and they're not. And it shows because they're in the lower middle of World Tag League.
So they're going to be in some like United Empire multi-man match at fucking Wrestle Kingdom, right? I mean, that's what these two have in store at that big show, which is good to have a spot, and everything. I just don't, everything's starting to get narrowed down because there's only so much time. There's one night of Wrestle Kingdom. There's only so many matches. And most of them have been announced already. So it's interesting to see where some of these guys that, have fallen through the cracks, where they're going to end
up. That's me with my fantasy nightmare book going. Welcome to the King of Pro Wrestling Battle Royal pre-show thing. Yay. Yeah. I mean, they're on the card, that's fine, but man, they're both really good. I want to see them excel. Maybe with Ospreay not being there so much, it'll allow some of these Empire dudes to kind of move up the card a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except for maybe the 3 or 4 shows a year, Ospreay will probably come back for, like a Dominion or a Wrestle Kingdom or whatever.
Well, plus with Okada going to WWE confirmed, I mean, that's going to open a lot of room at the top of the card for, someone like Hinare to move up a slot. Just saying.
Oh my goodness. All right. So what are your thoughts on Shota Umino and Ren Narita? Because I feel like New Japan's in a bit of a holding pattern with them.
Yeah. That's everybody. That's what we were just saying.
That's right.
Right? Because it's
Great-O-Khan's been stuck there for ages.
But it's kind of everybody when you're leading up to that you don't already have a match announced on Wrestle Kingdom. So they're kind of in that spot. I hope that they face each other there. If that's a thing that's going to happen, that's great. I thought man, I don't buy their friendship. I don't know, man. I was not very entertained by their matches so far in the show. There's been some really good ones, there's been some fantastic ones. The one where they got eliminated, I can't remember who eliminated them, but it was a really good one.
Ishii?
Yeah, maybe that was a fantastic match. They already faced War Dogs, right? And that was tremendous. So there's been all kinds of great matches that they've had. In fact, I might say as a tag team, I've liked their matches up there in this tournament as far as like the favorite ones. But I don't buy like the friendship, and I don't buy like the, you know what I mean? And like, here's an example of why I say that. Okay, so they do the friendship like elbow drop, right? It's where two guys get close in the in the middle of the ring. They got two arms facing both ways, headed to do an elbow on the opponent right in between them, and they like look to the crowd. They play the crowd. They grab their hands and boom, they fucking hit it. These two are like, oh, do we have to? Okay, I guess we got to do this, and then they do it, and it's like they think it's lame, or they're not friends in character.
It's weird that we're getting this story twice when we just seen the superior version of this story in Junior Tag League with Wato and El Desperado.
Yeah, good call.
Why? Because Wato has a lame factor to him. Like, he does. We've read his diaries on the show. You've seen him. I like him. Like, I feel like we're both come around on him a lot this year. He's great. But they leaned into that, and then you had tough guy, never as fuck, El Desperado being like, "You fucking no, you're a loser. I'm not wearing this shirt. What? Get the fuck out of here." And all right, and the second best version of this is Yuji Nagata and Minoru Suzuki. They've got the history there. They, even though they're kind of getting along as a tag team, they'll still do a gnarly chop tag to each other, or they'll get pissed off because the other guy got pinned, or all that kind of stuff. So that works. But Ren and Shota aren't really pulling it off in that story. And it's the third version of that story we're getting at the same time. I'm like, come on, man. Yeah.
I don't know. It's not working for some reason. And, like I said, the matches are fine. I got to say, I'm just not high on Ren Narita. Like, so like, he's boring to me. And like, when I watch him wrestle, I'm like, why aren't you hitting hard? I don't know. I mean, I don't want guys to hurt each other. Obviously, I want everybody to work safe and everything. But like in New Japan, you like hit the other guy hard. And if you're the son of fucking Strong Style, I don't like to see this much room in between your elbow and dude's head. Like, what the? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's no, I get it. But that's kind of how he always is. So just saying.
No, he hasn't been wrestling too differently, has he? Who else have we got? I guess we'll go. How have you felt about, since we'll just do A block, I guess, on 4 points, Kato Kiyomiya and Ryohei Iwa?
I hate Ryohei Iwa's hair. Like, it's terrible, right? It's so bad. And like, his facial expressions are like way over the top in a way that's not good. But this is awesome. Like, I don't care about any of that because I'm like watching him develop. Like when you like see a young guy like that, and maybe he's making mistakes, or maybe there's just something that's not working for me. It's fun to kind of watch him develop. Whereas like, the difference is Ren Narita, I know he's still developing, but he's kind of been in the same position for a while. So it is interesting, to see, and it's fun to see Kato Kiyomiya wrestle. I can't remember which match it was, but there was one where he just had beef with one of the dudes, and it was like it must have been the Gabe Kidd match, right? Because they like they had a pretty intense match in the G1, so they were just like gunning for each other, and that shit was super violent, and it was so fun because like Kiyomiya's like, oh, you want to like be super violent? Well, I wrestle at Noah, where we don't have concussion protocols. It's like,
no, they don't. That's ask Nakajima. He's just
allegedly.
I think I just accidentally knocked someone out again. Whoops. I can't remember. I think he had royal beef with, or someone had more beef with him in a previous match. I think it might have been Ishii as well. I'm not too sure, but Ishii's got beef with everyone, man. Just surprised he's tagged in World Tag League. I'm surprised he's ever a tag champion of any kind, to be honest.
Hey, it's fun watching him and Yano wrestle because
it really is.
Ishii's like, he's not gonna cheat, but he's gonna like use Yano's ability to cheat to help them win. You better believe.
Definitely. and that's a New Japan Pro Wrestling face right there.
That's true.
I don't do low blows in my matches, but I'm tagging with Yano, so I'm going to set it up so he can do a low blow on somebody else. Absolutely. Like, that's just how it is. Even Tanahashi did that when he tagged with Yano in the previous tag leagues. So, mind you, Tanahashi would also do. He's just as dirty. No one talks about that. Like, Tanahashi, he might not start with the low blows, but if you punch him in the dick,
you're getting a kick in the dick and like 30 dragon screws.
As soon as Tanahashi,
you least expect it.
Yeah, you cheat against Tanahashi, and that unlocks like all of the codes in Tanahashi. Going like, oh, okay, I can use these tools now for this match. I'm the ace, bitch. Like, I'm the best at all of this. Man,
I love when he's really pissed and he hits a dragon screw, and you know it's supposed to be like the most devastating thing ever. Or he'll hit like a Canadian dragon screw, and he looks at him and is like, "Fuck you!" and like hits it. You know, I love that.
No, and every time it's through the ropes, because obviously with the rope involved, it hurts more. But every wrestler's like, "No, nothing through the ropes, please, please, not through the ropes. Don't do it, no." Worst pain in the world when the ropes are involved.
Well, imagine a dragon screw on the announcer's table. Oh my God, your leg would come off. You never walk again.
All right. So we talked a little bit about him, but I want to talk about him a little more because it gives me an excuse to. I took notes a little bit for one of these matches because
that was foolish.
Their preview was amazing, and their match over-delivered, in my opinion. And it's Gabriel Kidd and Alex and the Android versus Evil and Yujiro Takahashi. So if you don't mind, I went through the trouble of writing at least 4 lines for this match. So
okay, let's hear them.
All right, man. So it's not enough for Gabriel Kidd to do Katamari Gambits anymore. He's innovating them. Why? He runs to the ring with a chair and he's holding them off from getting in the ring because, hey, I'm Gabe Kidd. I've got a chair. You come in here, I'm going to whack you. And then Alex C comes from behind. Boom. Chumpy's reffing this, by the way, so that's awesome. There's a kid does the R-base spot on Evil. And
you see this morning on this morning show, Bushi did the R-base spot on somebody, only he like hit a dive and knocked them. I think it was Kanemaru, knocked him right into R-base all over the place. That was
freaking awesome. then we got, all right, so they're fighting all in the crowd, and Gabriel Kidd's pissed off, and he's a wild man, so he's walking up a balcony up the other end. Oh, yeah, I didn't see any skeletons up there.
Oh,
and the good thing is the
load-bearing ones you can't see.
Yeah,
the load-bearing ones are in the wall. So.
Well, the load-bearing young lions were obviously down under where Gabe Kidd was with Evil. So good young lions there to catch Mr. Kidd. Is he going to do it? No way. Yeah, he jumps off the kind of railing onto Evil and a bunch of young lions. That was fucking awesome.
That was fun.
Bullet Club are getting the upper hand. So, the lights go off. Show comes out. Oh, my God.
But he was dressed as one of the guys. He had been there the whole time. He was dressed like one of the camera guys, and you didn't know it was him. I saw him earlier in the match, and I was like, that guy seems awful close, but it turned out later it was Show, and he takes the hat off, and he's all, laugh. So good.
So do you think he did the whole show like that, or was it just then? No, it was probably just then. Like House of Torture are almost going to get the win, but Alex C pulls Chompy out of the ring.
That was great,
dude. There's all sorts of fucking cheating going on, and who comes out to make the face save for War Dogs. It's fucking Gato with a sledgehammer.
With a sledgehammer. What are we doing here? That is confirmed. Okada to WWE. Confirmed.
That's right. He holds off House of Torture with a sledgehammer, and Alex C and Gabe Kidd pin the shit out of Yujiro Takahashi, well, after giving him all of the fucking moves, even hitting him with a low blow and his own pimp cane for good measure. So,
wow.
Fucking hell. This match made me laugh, but they also did some fun kind of creative things with it. It had a face rescue by Gato of all people. It was these House of Torture and this current Bullet Club, they're kind of different matches than old Bullet Club versus Bullet Club, but there's still a fun factor to them that they don't forget. So it's just a really good time. And had Marty Asami just going off on him for fighting in the crowd. No.
He's so mad at him. It's great. So I like
losing his mind at seeing his fucking 5,000th RB spot. No,
he's like, no, you're not supposed to. I like that, like you said, the dynamic was fun because the War Dogs are baby faces. He gave kids jumping off of shit, doing giant baby face spots. I hope he does that like every once in a while just for fun. You know, that shit was awesome. It was fun to see those guys do that, and it was great to see the Marty Asami, Ref Chumpy himself, getting pulled out of the ring was a babyface spot for Alex Coughlin.
That's right.
That's so awesome. And Gato comes out with a fucking sledgehammer and is doing babyface shit with a sledgehammer. That's
what I love. That's what I love about New Japan. On any given night, this team could be the biggest bastards on earth, or for some reason, for this one match only, complete baby faces. We'll even see it from you can tell we're in a LIJ town or something like that because they're not hot for Okada. And I'm like, oh, wow, okay. Or, you can tell it's great. I like that about New Japan. It's awesome.
Yeah. There's some crowds that hate Okada, which is fine with me. It's great because remember that time he beat Naito and I bought a ticket? God damn. That's why.
It was Naito's time. Never forgive.
Well, Luke, what about the B block? So it looks like that Hikuleo, El Phantasmo are at 8 points. Taichi and Yuyamura are at 8 points. And Lance Archer is at 8 points. But Fishermen are at 7. So we're guaranteed to get some kind of time limit draw between some of these teams, I would think, at some point soon. That's going to play a part in here. But, Fishermen, I mean, they're going to win, right?
They're tag champs, though. I don't think they will. I don't know.
Okay.
Nah.
But they're fishermen.
They'll make it to the finals. They'll make it to the first or second goes to the finals thing. And
how's it work?
Don't bamboozle my brain. But look, let's start off with a team who's probably, at least for me, I think, I don't know. I really like Taichi Yuyamura too. But I've been loving Hikuleo and El Phantasmo as a team. And talk about a team where El Phantasmo's got a bit of that Paul Heyman in him, right? Accentuate a guy's positives, hide his negatives. And rarely do those negatives of Hikuleo's flare up and take people out of the match or anything like that. They're being smoothed out, I think, slowly but surely by El Phantasmo. Man, he must be a good guy hopefully Hikuleo's picking his brain. So as green as Hikuleo might be, he's probably the most interesting of the brothers for me to watch right now.
I'm wondering. You? I just I really enjoy ELP. He's doing fantastic work. The match that I have in mind is the one I watched most recently, is him and Hikuleo versus the Luchador guys. And I'm thinking, okay, this is an opportunity for El Phantasmo to kind of get a bunch of flippy shit in with these guys if that's all they do, and for Hikuleo to maybe do something a little different. But he doesn't. He just kind of does the one thing. And so I think I have the same. I'm starting to have the same complaint about him that I have about Tama Tonga. Is that he just does the one thing, right? And it's like that's cool and everything, but like I don't know. I feel like you have to be multifaceted in New Japan, but maybe I'm wrong about that. And it's still early. It's just Hikuleo's been around a long time at this point. He shouldn't be. I don't know. I just want more out of him. You know what I mean? I want to see him do different things. And I just when it's the third time in this tournament that somebody's gone after his leg because you got to chop down the big man, and that's all it is. It's like that's very similar to what we've seen with him. Remember when there was the feud with Carl Anderson, and he had like several matches right in a row where it was just brawling in the crowd, sell the leg. Fiery big fast comeback, and it was just kind of boring. So,
wasn't the first match like that a Jay White match or something like that?
Yeah,
it was and then White. and then because that match worked so well, it must have been like for a period of time, Hikuleo must have been like, "Oh, that works. Let's do that again," and it does work.
But like you said, it's accentuating the positive. This is the stuff he does well. That's what he's going to do. Which, hey man, I'm not knocking it. It's just kind of boring,
But just being with El Fantasmo guarantees that yes, all right, fine, Hikuleo will do his normal shit. But it also guarantees that because ELP's in these matches too, you're going to see something creative and interesting, and at least no, not from him. No, you don't reckon?
Every one of their like tandem moves are Hikuleo just standing there and going like, yeah, I'm helping. Look at what I'm doing, and he's not really doing anything. And it's like the one move where he does something is he does like a big boot, and ELP's the one spinning the guy around. And it's like, I don't know. I was really hoping for some more creativity. I'm kind of down on them right now. I really have not enjoyed. I didn't enjoy their most recent match, the one with the Luchadors. I was like, what an opportunity to do some awesome stuff, and then it was very good. Like as far as the wrestling was good, I just, what am I? I shouldn't expect this shit from World Tag League. Why am I mad?
Interesting you say that about their finishes and signature double team moves and stuff, because even though we're not as high on this team, Archer and Zayn, they've got that shit locked down.
That's true.
The moves involve both of them. Like, hey, it's a powerbomb position, you do the flip or a choke, all that kind of stuff. So both men are involved in doing those things. Also, I had to see. I got to see them lose to the dads too, so that made me mark out. So I'm not as down on them as maybe I have been in the past because of that match, Mr. Guy.
That's the only match.
But don't put them on. Yeah, it is. Don't put these gentlemen on commentary. Accentuate the positives, hide the negatives, because we probably wouldn't have been calling them like to each other like weak sauce or the charisma of a plain tortilla with nothing on it when they're on commentary and stuff. But
did we even talk about the commentary thing? I feel like that we didn't. I feel like
we didn't
even talk about it. So.
Here's the news, everyone. Due to the English commentators realizing they'd have to be there live for World Tag League, they're not going to be there live for World Tag League.
So apparently they're actually going to record it live. They're going to watch it live together, not in the same room, but like via satellite, like we are. And, they'll record it live and then it'll just be added as soon as possible. But isn't that, I think that's really funny because we always talk about the main rivalry at the USA shows is the staff versus the equipment. And like New Japan's like, we are not getting jobbed out in our own country. So we are not even going to have this match. This match is called off. We're not having a match versus the equipment. And I respect it.
Must have been something like, who do we have to help us with the Texas Rangers recording? Oh, it's this guy. Wait a minute. He's been jobbed out to the equipment like 10 times in a row now. Never mind. We'll do some kind of delayed remote thing. It's fine.
That's right.
Ugh. Man.
He's 0-10 versus the equipment. We can't have him in there. And plus, we can't be jobbing out Walker Stewart right out of the gate, man. Can't be doing it. So I respect it. You know?
I did appreciate the time that the workers went 40 minutes against the equipment. Remember that fucking strong pay-per-view show that started 40 minutes late? Or was it 45? It felt like a fucking year.
They ended up losing. It took 40 minutes for the equipment to finally beat them, but it's because they just wouldn't give up. They kept showing resilience. No fire. No babyface fire, just resilience,
That's the kind of they got the kind of burial that WWE would give a guy that they don't want to get over or something like that. That's the kind of burial that the equipment gave them in that match. It was a big time burial. Anyway, we have other. Do you want to talk more about Lance Archer and Alex Zane?
Not really, but
cool. Oh, but
no, there is no but.
Good, because we're going on the other team with 8 points, and it is just 2 guys. It's Taichi and Yuya Uemura. How have you felt about these 2 guys in the tournament?
I love watching Taichi wrestle, and Yuya Uemura is a lot of fun. Like in the most recent match that I watched of theirs, he had a big spot where he got an arm drag on Fale, and they build up to it. And it was like fucking arm drag, and it was like, ah! Like the crowd lost their mind.
He got cocky though and tries to go for like the double underhook finishing move that he has on Fale, and I'm just like, well, that's not happening, is it? No. But then he tries to tap Fale out like fucking seconds later. I'm like, okay, Yuya Uemura, you're fucking going for it, all right.
Hey, shoot for the sky, But I did appreciate the arm drag being really funny. And Taichi's matches are never the most crisp ever unless he's in there, with Ibushi or something like that, or Shingo. But they're so just fun. And I just have really enjoyed almost everything he does. But I see stars in my eyes when Taichi's on the screen. So I can't be objective. We're never objective on this show anyway, but no. I'm just confused by Yuya Uemura. I mean, every time he walks out, Taichi has to console him a little bit, and be like, come on, we got to do the thing. Quit crying. Okay.
God, I can't wait till it's your second time at all these venues. Holy shit.
Well, his dad's they put pieces of his dad's bones in every one of these venues hold up the building, So
you know what I want to see? I want to see Taichi go during the entrance, say, "Hey, Yuya, can you hold my microphone for a tick?" All right, so Yuya grabs the microphone, holds it. Taichi goes into his robe, pulls out a handkerchief, and hands it to maybe just dabs at Yuya's eyes. He cries more than Charlotte. What's going on?
Man, if he ever won a women's title, he would. I mean,
you'd know it by the time he walked out. Oh, Charlotte's winning this, isn't she? Oh, Charlotte doesn't look happy walking to the ring. Oh, okay. Yep, she's jobbing. Right. Awesome.
Well, Taichi's been awesome. I've liked him. Another kind of standout, I think. I hate to say it because they look so silly to me, but Fishermen have been pretty good in this tournament. They've been fine. I really like seeing them get their fucking asses handed to them. And so that's happened a lot. They've been like the baby face fighting from underneath. Goto is constantly getting people attack his weak body, and that's been a lot of fun. So I've enjoyed that,
Not only that, I don't think there's been many instances where I've been watching their matches and been like, oh, God, come on, with their timing or something like that. I'm still laughing over that spot where it's like, all right, hip toss. I'll hip toss Yoshihashi onto Great Khan. Oh, shit, I forgot about Yo as well. Oh, and Yo just already fucking face planted on Great Khan. I still can't, there hasn't been any really things like that. They've both been all right. Yeah. So, hey, that's high praise from us, especially from you.
It looks like that Taichi and Uemura and Goto have not wrestled yet. And Fishermen have not wrestled yet. So that's interesting. That'll be important. I guess that's happening on the 7th. And I guess we're going to go through all that at some point here. But yeah, those guys fucking rule, man. I've enjoyed a lot of these guys. I don't have much to say about the CMLL guys other than they're solid, I kind of, I really enjoy the, I miss Teton. Kind of miss Teton a little bit. These other guys are great, but man, it makes me miss Teton.
I miss Dragon, or Real Lee or Dragon Lee.
Oh man, he was so awesome. Goddamn.
Man, he's in WWE too. Him and Jonah, man, they could have done amazing things in Japan.
Oh, did you see that really cool thing that I showed you? I sent Luke this amazing gift from WWE where it's like three guys doing some crazy spot, and Jonah gets hit with a fucking a slingshot, like fucking low blow somehow. And I'm like, hey man, that's what this guy's up to.
Dude, the catapult is one of my least favorite moves in wrestling. And you know the spot where you a wrestler slides under a big man and then tries to get him down for a pin, but the big man's like, oh no, I'm gonna sit on your chest and pin you. Well, that kind of spot's about to happen, but then someone grabs the guy underneath Jonah, grabs his legs, and does the move I hate, right into Jonah's life makers.
Right in the life makers.
And I'm just like, man, you were tearing it up with a Carter, man. Like, I mean, he's probably getting paid more, like at least 30,000 a year or something. I don't know. I don't know how much Jonah makes there. But...
I mean, more than he was in Japan, where he was not even.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I know. Look, I can't be mad. He's got family. He's got like a wife and kids, probably. He's got fucking people feed. He's got money to make. And if you're in Japan for months at a time, you're away from your family. I get it. But he was doing so much better shit. Oh, yeah. So I hate being an adult and understanding things like that and being
I'm looking at the final night of A Block tournament action which is coming up, I believe it's Thursday, maybe Wednesday. Will you look at the schedule and tell me?
You know what's funny to me?
Yes.
How any other tournament, we wouldn't be looking to these last two nights to see what's going to happen. But like tonight,
we don't care.
Like, yeah.
It's odd that the main event is Authors of Agony versus Rihoi Iwa and Kato Kiyomiya.
I think they've mixed the order up again.
Yeah, maybe they're not in order. So
yeah, I think they've mixed the order up again, like they did for the end of other tournaments. The Junior Tag League, I know they did that specifically so people wouldn't look at the end and be like, oh, it's in this order. Yeah, full card and order to be announced at a later date. It says at the top of these pages. Card order.
So I guess the War Dogs eliminated House of Torture when they beat them too. Is that true?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, man, that match had so much story in it. Fantastic.
Yeah. I loved it. We're gonna get some cool shit. We're gonna get some Hanare Ishii action and some Great Okan Yano action, which is always fun.
Oh yeah, it is great. Maybe Great Okan will tape his toes like he did that one time.
Ishii and Yano are not eliminated yet either. They're on 8 points, so I'm expecting Great Okan and Hanare to kind of equalize the score there. That kind of thing, which is pretty cool. Let me see Hanare pin Ishii, then set up a singles match at the Dome, and thank you, please and thank you.
I think pinning Yano would mean more, honestly, but...
New Japan head office coming up to Gato, why didn't we make any money at this year's Dome? We let this fucking Aussie podcast dickhead fucking book the whole thing.
Everybody won.
Yeah, everybody won.
Except Yo. Yo lost to everyone, so...
And Makabe got racked and stacked by every young lion and Honma for a 10.
That's right, man.
And then they all laughed at him and went, ha ha ha.
I think what I book is this is in my fantasy dream book. So it's Honma versus Makabe, and it's the first to 30 match thing, right? And Honma gets all 30. Makabe didn't get any.
Yeah, I agree with that. See, that's the kind of booking I like, and it wouldn't.
He has to lose to Hanma at least 10 times to get. Like, I'm thinking, we're going to do it that way. We're not going to do one. one count. We're going to do 10 3 counts. So he's going to lose to Hanma 10 times in 12 minutes.
Yeah, I like that. Mm-hmm. Anything that buries Mr. Mayonnaise, I'm very happy with.
Referee Marty Asami, of course, will be presiding.
Oh, man.
The honorable.
He'll be having tears of joy for every time he has to count Makabe.
He has to stop and take a break because he's crying, and Taichi comes out and wipes his eye.
Oh, holy shit!
I like
so.
It.
What have you thought of Yota Tsuji and Zandakan and Junior?
I'm the most recent match that I watched with them. It was fine, but I wasn't impressed. I'm not as impressed with Jan Jr. than I was at him with him in the beginning of the tournament. He was kind of like a new fresh guy, like, okay, this guy's great and cool. And they've been a fine tag team.
He's not joining LIJ.
He's just the guy there to lose, and he's doing fine, but it's just kind of a shame. That Naito had to get eye surgery or something, right? Or he probably would have been in this because he's always
and they had to bring somebody else in because, well, if Shingo was in there, well, doesn't the winner have a tag title shot at Wrestle Kingdom? Well, he's already got a title. Naito, why would he ever just go to wrestle at a World Tag League?
I guess he would never be in that, but he would have
below him. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yota Tsuji needed someone to tag with, I guess, and I don't see Zandakan doing this fist bump thing at the end of the tournament.
Yeah, I don't know. So maybe that's why Naito keeps showing up to watch.
He's scouting him,
like in storyline that he's showing up to see how this new guy's doing, to see if maybe he's going to join. It'd be pretty funny if he was like, nah. He just was like, at the end of the tournament, Zandakan shows up and.
Naito does what he used to do to Yota Tsuji. They go for the fist bump, and then he just fucking kicks him and throws him out of the ring.
Well, Naito would do one of these, and then Zandakan like pulls back his patch, and a beam of light shoots out of it. That's what I'm thinking.
But if you've got a distracting beam of light under your eye patch, why aren't you using that in your matches?
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Fantasy Dream Book shit coming out on this episode of the podcast.
That's right. So I guess we got 2 teams we haven't really discussed yet. Maybe 3. I've liked Bishop Kwan and Toa Leona. They're good. But man, I didn't wow, they've been jobbed out quite a lot. In fact, their House of Torture match? House of Torture succeeded in every attempt and whooped their ass and won. It's like, I've never seen such a fucking one-sided House of Torture match before. Holy crap.
Yeah.
But I like them, and they've had some really cool matches. Like, have they wrestled? Yeah, they have. I like seeing both men have goes at Ishii. I like their War Dogs match, of course. And, wow, seeing them with Great Khan and Nanare was a great time.
Yeah, they've been fine, and a lot of times they remind me of like War Machine or something like that, one of these like ROH teams that come in and the big guys that can kind of do whatever, and they're very good.
Absolutely. Now I know you and I like ourselves a bit of Fale every now and again, so we're getting that now. What have you thought of him and his tag team partner, Jack Bonza?
Okay, so the most recent stuff that I remember of these guys, and I don't mean to preface that every time I'm saying this, but that's what I'm going off of. So I got to see Jack Bonza pin Doki at the beginning of one of these shows, and I was like, no.
Sorry, Bonza. You're in our shit list now.
And that pissed me off. And so I was kind of on alert for him now, be like, fuck this guy. And so their most recent match was tremendous, though. The Taichi Uemura versus Fale and Bonza match, that was just so good, man. And like I said, there was a lot of sloppy wrestling in that match. Didn't matter. It was fantastic. All building
the story was well told, and Yeah, everyone. Oh man, yeah, I like it too.
Yeah, I really like that a lot. So seeing Fale in there, you know, it's like, at this point, there's certain guys that you just gotta like, they've earned their spot, and he's one of those guys. And I like Fale matches. I noticed. Remember that time that he like was like, I'm taking the G1 seriously this year, and he like lost all this weight and he looked fantastic and all that stuff. He did not do that for World Tag League. So it's not like he's out there having 5-star matches or whatever metric you value, but he's doing his job and he's doing fine. And I like Fale. So
yeah, me too. I feel like he works well against all of the Japanese guys. They all want to suplex him. They all want to give him a scoop slam. All that kind of stuff, and everyone wants to see it. The Japanese crowd fall for it every time. So do I, actually, kind of sometimes, except for when you try to do the double underhook. I'm like, no.
Well, hey, what do you think of this? A lot of big men in this tournament. A lot of big men, like a lot more than normal, are in New Japan right now. So I like that. That's pretty cool.
I guess we have talked about them a little bit too, but Suzuki and Yuji Nagata, they've been fun. Their story would be a little bit more interesting if they were winning, but they're in the twilights of their career. They're not going to beat all the guys in World Tag League, I guess.
They are facing Bad Luck Fale and Jack Bonza on the last night, which will be
Bonza can take a pin from one of them. That's no problem.
Oh yeah, that'll be a low work rate match. It'll be fun. So.
Oh yeah, Nagata and Suzuki can do fun sloppy as well. So it'll be fun.
I like it. It'll be cool. And on the final night, so we know that Yoshihashi and Goto, they have 7 points, and they are facing Yuyamura and Taichi on the last night of their block. And so, if that goes to a time limit draw, depending on what happens before that match, we'll see how that all works out. But I would assume that one of these matches on the show are going to go to a time limit draw to kind of like make all the math be crazy. That's been New Japan's thing lately. So
I'd say if Goto and Yoshihashi win, they get to 9 points. So that would kind of, looking at the scoring here, that will kind of make them second place no matter what here, because the 3 teams above them all have 8 points. So I guess, hopefully we get to see Taichi and Yuya in the finals.
That'd be pretty cool. What if they did the first to 30 match and Taichi comes out, he sings, of course, and then he pins Goto. Like, if he's going to pin him like 3, consecutive 3 counts, I would go with like 8 on Goto and 2 on Yoshihashi.
I like that. Even when you're controlling your fantasy dream booking, you're still putting Yoshihashi over way more than Hiroki Goto.
Oh, no one's getting put over in that match besides Taichi. It's just who's getting buried less.
Who's reffing that match?
Referee Marty Asano, to make sure everything is called right down the middle.
So this, haven't we seen? We've seen this match as well, haven't we? El Phantasmo, Hikuleo, Alex Zane, Lance Archer. Didn't they have a title match against each other?
They sure did on that show. That was very good that we talked about.
Oh yeah, it was astounding. Mm-hmm. Who won again? Oh yeah, the equipment. And we got Suji Zandakan versus Sobrano and Atlantis.
I mean, look at that match. Suji's the only non-junior in that match. We got 3 juniors.
That's right.
Junior, and fucking Suji.
Well, obviously, this is New Japan booking. So if you're on a tag team with 1 junior, but the other team has 2 juniors on it, the 2 junior team's going to lose.
What about but is this is senior tag league though, and these guys are juniors, so I'm a little confused by that.
Yeah, it's Zandakan Jr., Sobrano Jr., Atlantis Jr.
Yeah, junior. You used to call it. Remember, you used to call the. You'd say it was junior tag league, and then you call it senior. Senior.
That's right.
So that's
yeah.
referring to.
I know. So in about 20 years, we're going to be talking about matches from Zandercan Jr., Sobrano Jr., and Atlantis Jr.
Oh, it'll be Sobrano Jr. the third.
Oh, that's right.
Both of those. So Junior and
Atlantis Trace.
yeah. See, now you're getting it. Suji Dose.
That's right. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, those are things that are going to happen. So on the B League night, we have stuff like, you just went through some of these matches. I guess it's really the Taichi, Yu Uemura versus Yoshihashi and Goto match that's really the one to kind of watch for there, I think, the most. But how does this tournament work then, Luke? There's like a little twist because we went through those 2 nights, but then Friday, December 8th, there's going to be a show at Kagoshima.
Oh yeah, you can't have a show. Look, when they do this for the G1, I'm into it. It's the fucking G1. What I don't need is the prolonging of the World Tag League.
The chumpening of the Tag League.
Because what they've decided to do is first place of A block takes on second place of B block. First place of B block takes on second place of A block. And then the winner of those 2 matches will face in the next night. And I'm like, oh.
We hate World Tag League. We hate it. So this is not fun that we get an extra day, but it's fine. We can watch as much or as little of this as we want, Luke.
That's right. That's right, we can. And we can talk about it in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
That's right. On YouTube or on your favorite podcast app.
That's right. You can definitely do that. I wonder how many people did their unwrapping on the Spotify's, and no, we weren't in anyone's top 5 podcast. Hey, actually, I was. Oh. We were in my top 5 podcasts because, I like to see how the show turns out, and also listening to the show back, I get all of Andy's jokes that I know sold during the recording, and then I'm just like, god damn it. And he's going to comment about, I never sold that. And sure enough, he'll be like, you never sold my blah, blah, blah joke. Yeah, it happens.
It's the only way to make the other guy look better is to sell. So, don't be Lance Archer on me,
By the way, did you see the show where the part where Shooter decides to hand a bracelet to a little baby, like his little thing, and the baby's fucking crying his ass off?
Yeah.
And I reckon Lance Archer was furious backstage.
So mad. He wants that feud so badly, and they won't let him have it, because he won't job to Shota Umino. So that's why.
See, it would be called a baby on a pole match, but to Lance Archer, it would just be baby on a stick match.
That's right. Yeah. Every baby stakes,
Yeah. Over the fire. I don't know. Oh my god.
That's fine.
Yeah. No. Every baby dies.
Yeah. So the rusty coat hanger goes over the fire, and that's how he. But anyway, so Sunday we will watch the finals, and of course it's like on at fucking 1:30 in the morning for me, so I won't be live, but I'll be watching it later and enjoying it, I'm sure. And Luke, then we get a little stretch of these like Road to Tokyo Dome shows where all kinds of fun shit's gonna happen, and I'm excited for that. And then it is Wrestle Kingdom, and I mean it's gonna be just a couple weeks away, dude. It's awesome.
These Road 2 shows have a team pin the dream team before free up those titles for a 6-man.
Well, you got to get the stank belts off Okada. Shit. WWE isn't going to sign him with the stank.
Oh no, they learned their lesson when Carl Anderson became my least favorite wrestler by signing to the WWE again, but whilst being never open champion. I'm just like, fuck you, buddy, for life. So fuck that guy. So yes, Okada, though, he doesn't want to ruin the sanctity of that belt.
The Stanktity. Very good. Very good. I'm proud of that. Proud of you and proud of that.
You're waving around. What are you doing? Are you okay?
I'm good.
Right. So we have talked the thing. Oh yeah, I don't think we mentioned it at the start, but let's just do it now. You saw it 2 days ago and didn't tell me, and I saw it today because even my YouTube algorithm doesn't want me to see it for a few days.
Guess so.
Fucking,
I don't know why, man.
Everyone's a prick. But considering the amount of times I've gone to YouTube and thought, do I need to watch the 10th video essay that goes for 2 hours on New Vegas? No. Am I going to? Yes. So, yes. Anyway, I let the cat out of the bag. I watched the Fallout trailer. I think it looks fucking awesome. Walton Goggins as a ghoul. Ella Purnell from Yellow Jackets is the vault dweller that leaves the vault.
Okay.
We got Chris Parnell, who looked to be an overseer of that vault, but he looked to have one eye, like he was inbred in some way, which might be something. But and then we had a dude with glasses that looks like Nerd from Person of Interest. You know who I'm talking about.
It's fucking Linus. Benjamin Linus from Lost. Man, that guy was fantastic on that show. Love that show.
He seems to be in all of Jonathan Nolan's TV shows.
That's why I'm not worried about this. I feel like this is going to be good because they gave Jonathan Nolan a shit ton of money to make a Fallout show. I feel like you can't go wrong, man. Dale Cooper rocking around in there. You know, he's out of the Black Lodge. He's running around in Fallout. Do
you know why I messaged you that Dale Cooper was in this show? Because I'm like, I'm not figuring out how to type Kyle MacLachlan. I haven't had my coffee yet.
How come you can say Kyle MacLachlan with not an issue, but Alex Coughlin, you're like, I don't know. Don't know. Just saying.
You know how some things will just never penetrate your mind, no matter how hard you try to make them? Yeah, that might be Alex Coughlin.
Yeah, that's the guy. So I think the power armor looks fantastic, and like the period
vertibirds.
The vertibirds, but the giant airship is in the fucking trailer, and it's like, oh my god! If you ever play Fallout 4, the game doesn't begin till you walk out of this building, and this fucking giant airship just goes by, and you can't do anything. You just have to stand there and watch it, and it's one of the coolest parts of any game ever. And I was like, whoa, it's the thing. You know, so I'm marking out for that shit.
Yeah, dude, it was 2.5 minutes of not telling us much, but showing us what it looks like, and I was pretty happy with it. Yeah, I'm excited. As a bit of a Fallout nerd, I can't wait.
I mean, I would assume that kind of show is going to have a lot of flashbacks too. You know, it's going to have a lot of like, how did we get to where we're at? And that's probably what that first season would be, is kind of like setting that up. And then we can move forward with whatever's going on the, in the present as well. But I would think that we're going to see Walter Goggins as a ghoul, but also as a regular dude as well before the bombs dropped. So
I don't mind. It depends on how deep they're going to go into the lore, because like it's been, I guess, almost 30 years. Still don't know who launched the bombs first. All these kind of stuff. There's just theories and stuff. The closest we know to what life was like before the war was like maybe the start of Fallout 4. You know, right before you go into cryosleep and all that kind of stuff. So I don't mind if we see. I don't know how. Like I feel like we're gonna have to see. Maybe we'll probably get flashbacks to Walton Goggins as a human before he gets ghoulified in the explosion. He's got a little girl with him on horseback, so I'm guessing either she ghoulifies or doesn't make it, and he's had to live without her and just not die because he's a ghoul. But I don't know how. Like, will we see kind of like Vault Tech flashbacks? How they're like, this vault's going to be fucked for this reason, because they're in Vault 30. They're in a vault called Vault 33, so all the vaults have some kind of nefarious bullshit behind them. And you see a guy go crazy in the trailer. So, like, is there white noise in this one? Or have they all been given, like, drugs or something like one of the other vaults? Like, what's going on?
Well, one thing that was missing from the trailer that I was kind of bummed about, but I understand if this is a part of the show that you can't just show in a trailer, is there was not much humor, and there wasn't the ironic humor that show's all, or that those games are all about. And I mean, just the like Vault Boy himself is like a fucking hilarious piece of art. It's like it's the fucking end of the world. There's guys walking around with no noses, and they're alive forever, and it's like, right, like you said. So I really didn't quite see that from the trailer, but I mean, how are we going to see that in a short trailer? So
I don't mind if it has the humor, especially the kind of dark humor, but it's got room to also have some episodes with horror elements, like,
oh yeah,
hey, let's have the main character meet ghouls. Yeah, but they haven't met feral ghouls yet.
Yeah,
and it's just like you can do something that got to have it at night, maybe in some train tunnels, like fucking Fallout 3. Every fucking time I go into those damn tunnels that are like a labyrinth, getting attacked by ghouls in the darkness, I'm like, no. So I put, I can't. I'm shit at horror games, like, because I like watching them. I don't like feeling like I'm in them. So if I'm playing Fallout, I make sure that I have the 50s radio station playing. It's goofy 50s retro shit. And I have a companion with me as well. And I have my torch on. I don't care if they can see me coming. I'm like, Ugh. Yeah. And death claws, man. You got to do death claws. That just to scare the shit out of people.
I'm sure there's death claws in the game.
One of my favorite bits of Fallout 4 is when you go into this church, and then like you get right up to the top, and there's there's a fucking death claw right up there. And if you're not ready for it, if you don't know
it's early. Yeah, that's early in the game, and it's actually a museum of witchcraft.
That's
and
right.
You go down in the basement, and you're like, it's like shit starts flying around. There's like all kinds of like supernatural shit going on that's already creepy, and the ground keeps shaking. And you go down the basement, and you look around, and all of a sudden you catch a glimpse of it. It's really good, man. That's one of those things about that game is that like it gets hate. It gets a lot of hate, but a moment like that where it's an open world game, but everybody has the same experience at this one point, that's pretty fucking cool. Just like the big shit flying over. It's the same thing. It's like it's a cool game where you can kind of do anything, but you're still going to have these shared experiences with anybody that's played them. So
yeah, I don't really care about this. Like, I like the Obsidian Black Isle games. I like the fucking Bethesda games. Well, I like all the Fallouts. Some I like more than others. No big deal. New Vegas is probably my favorite game ever, and that's fine. But every now and again, I don't want that vibe, but I want the same universe. Well, where do I go? I'm going to put Fallout 4 on. I'll put Fallout 3 on. I'm just going to have a blast.
Yeah, I've only played Fallout 4, but I played it a lot.
If you didn't,
Luke, I played it a lot.
Oh, I believe you. If you didn't glom onto New Vegas, I feel like you would enjoy 3 though. So give 3 a shot. It's probably cheap as fuck too.
Yeah, or I'll just like start a new character with Fallout 4.
Yeah,
that's kind of how video games work for me. It's like yeah, I'll play this other game, but I could play this one game that I fucking love again. What do you think? That's kind of how my brain works.
That's how my brain works too. Because at least once a year or once every couple of years, I'll be like, wow, Saints Row 2 was really good, wasn't it? I'm going to play that again. And I do. And it's awesome all over again. Just being this badass gang leader dude is so over the top. It's amazing. I love it. Mass Effect 2 specifically. Yeah. Hook that up to my veins.
I wish those were part of my lexicon. They just really aren't. I never played them. And I think it's too late for me on those games. I think it is. So sorry.
Only if you think it is.
I'll give it a shot, but kind of, I don't know. See, the problem with that kind of shit, it has to be my idea. It has to be something I found.
Oh, right. It's fair enough. No, I get it.
Fucking annoying, but that's the only way it works. It's fucking bullshit. I don't like it. I argue with myself about it. But we are not here to talk about my shortcomings, which are many. Luke, do you have any other items that we need to cover today?
All right.
Never podcast.
Yeah, yes. I do not. I do have one thing though.
And well, that's
But it's not news, or a specific discussion thing to bring up. It's a wrestler diary, man.
Oh, that's right.
We get diaries. They're wrestling. If you can get onto your emails there, Mr. Guy, and click on the Taichi, because this is a two-hander. Taichi's smart. He's decided, rather than, because he's a holy emperor, you know how royalty have biographers and shit? Well, he doesn't write his fucking diary. He's obviously got this guy Akamoto hanging around him. So Akamoto will just ask him questions, and Taichi will just be like, yeah, here's what I think about that. Boom. Write that in the annals of the history of the fucking Holy Emperor. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it.
I am also sticking to your theory, which is coming to me now.
Awesome. I guess I should have told you that this was going to happen before we started.
So Akamoto. So I will be Akamoto. We have a wrestler diary from Taichi. It's from November 11th, 2023. Luke, are you ready to be Taichi? The person that we all wish we could be?
It is episode 163. An encounter at Oasis. What? You gotta get all the bugs out of the way at the start before you launch into the diary. And usually I get that over and done with at the heading and the name of each diary. But it's episode 163. An encounter at the Oasis. Life. And there's a photo of just 5 guys. Aww. Doki holding a beer, but realizing he'll have to go off camera and lift his mask up and tilt it back. And anyway, it is November 11th, 2023. All right, Akamoto-san, let's go.
All right. Okay, Taichi, it's time for us to chat again. You've been absent from the ring for a little while now. How have you been?
I don't really have anything to do during my time off. I had nobody to travel with, nobody to date, nobody to spend the night with, so I went back to my hometown for the first time since the Sapporo show in the G1. Unlike my usual habits, I got to spend every day just relaxing, which is nice once in a while.
Even when you didn't have matches, even when you were resting in your hometown, you were still active on YouTube on a daily basis. Did you get proper rest on those days, Taichi?
Well, it's my idea that it's better to be doing something, even if it's just a little thing, rather than just sitting on your hands. I do it because I like it. I know there are some people who criticize me doing YouTube, but there are also people who I cheered up when I do it. I don't see it as a negative thing at all.
Also, I saw that you were recently broadcasting a video of famous places in Ishikura City, your hometown, and you also went to Shiibetsu City to feed sheep. The camera work of the 77-year-old amateur cameraman was also excellent.
I love that. There's a photo of Taichi there.
Save
feeding
image as.
That's right. He's feeding an English sheep there by the look of things. And there's some links that people can click on if you've got these diaries, I guess. I don't know. I'm not clicking on them. Last time I went back, I did a live stream of local places of interest in Ishikari City. I think I'm the most famous person from Ishikari City, but Ishikari City doesn't recognize me at all. That's why it's a city with nothing, because it owes everything to its neighbor Sapporo. It's up to me to make Ishikari a place that actually matters.
There's no one that's ever been from this town that's important. So Taichi has to do this. I love it. All right. Whoa, you're running for mayor of Ishikari? In order to secure votes for your campaign, first you need to get the kapow back in your rematch versus Show. November 17th, Yamagata.
Oh, man, you read that perfectly. I would have done that like a little fine tidbit like that as well. Fucking nice. Leave it to me. I'll get it back and become the mayor too. I'll extend the Nambuku subway line to Ishikari City. No, I'll extend to Shinkansen to Ishikari too.
Great Mayor Taichi!
Taichi ran for mayor of Ishikari a few years later, but his many misdeeds with Okamoto in the past came to light, and he failed to win a single vote and disappeared from public life. Oh my god. That was all worth it just to get that. Like,
Yeah.
that's like after the movie, it'll freeze on a character. This character
Epilogue,
did this. Yeah.
It's like,
Well, the Fast Times at Ridgemont High thing. I think that's where I first saw it. I think.
It's interesting too. You can vote for the answer to this. Like this is a question. Taichi ran for mayor, and all this bullshit happened. He didn't win because some bullshit with the Sakamoto. And you can vote really or amazing story. Like that's bullshit, brother. Taichi would win.
That's right. Also, I refuse to believe he's not that famous. He is a humble, holy emperor.
It's true.
He knows he has Ishikari in the grip of his iron fist. Not his iron fingers, though. He doesn't have those anymore.
No, not anymore.
That was the best Tamatonga shit I've ever seen. That's my favorite Tamatonga shit. The shit with the iron glove. Like, I can get into a Tamatonga story and be like, all right, it's clicking. It works for me.
Here's how this works, Luke.
And it had to be over a stupid fucking claw glove that Izuka left over.
If a wrestler has a match against Taichi, you love them, and you all of a sudden understand where they're coming from because Taichi is the best. That's why.
This is true. It is true. He's fucking awesome. You know, dear listeners, how often, like, I will just get a random message from Mr. Guy, maybe once or twice a week, maybe, and it'll just be like, Taichi's the best.
I just want to remind you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I haven't forgotten, but yeah, it's nice to be reminded that, Taichi's pretty fucking good.
It's what I'm thinking. I'm just telling you what I'm thinking.
That's it. That Taichi's so hot right now. Oh my goodness. All right. So, unless Mr. Guy has anything that he'd like to add. In sledgehammer wielding Gato, we trust.